Hi, everyone. Welcome this afternoon. I've got a special guest today. We're going to be talking about a program that has been started by my friend Gail McNeely here in Santa Maria, California, and it's called Youth Arts Alive. And I have a fabulous individual he has just as of recently hired named Sarah Rain. She's the program coordinator with the Youth Arts Alive. Welcome, welcome, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Hi, Jolynn. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Very excited to talk to you.
Yes, he's just fallen in love with you, and I think you've taken
Such a
so
sweet
much.
man.
Well, not in that way, but
I know.
just
Yeah.
as the coordinator. Oh my gosh, he speaks so highly of you. Um, and I know how hard he's worked to bring this program to kids, having been one of the teachers doing
Yeah.
guitar and voice for him. But can you tell us first? I've got to let people know you've got quite a background. Could you share a bit about yourself, Sarah, and
Certainly.
why he might have chose you?
Yeah. I feel very fortunate to have met Gail and to be working for him now. My background, I grew up most of my life in Texas. I attended New York University studying classical voice. Bounced around a little bit before I landed on the Central Coast about 5 years ago. And I was teaching music quite a bit and teaching some theater. And I decided to start infusing more performance into my career. At that time, auditioned for and enrolled in PCPA in their professional acting program.
Can you tell us what the PCPA is? I know, but
Yes, of course. PCPA stands for Pacific Conservatory of Performing Arts. It is
correct.
uh, it is a theater program about I'm in the acting program. They also have the other side of theater, the technical side of theater. And that is how I connected with Gail. Gail is considered a part of the PCPA family. He sometimes comes in and teaches workshops in mask work or commedia dell'arte, which is very much his thing, his forte. And even though I didn't have the opportunity to take his class at PCPA yet, I met him because he was looking for possible theater teachers for Youth Arts Alive, which at the time was going to be happening this summer and bigger and better than ever before. Uh, and I interviewed with him then. Months went by, the world, of course, has changed, and he reached out again to PCPA to say he was looking for someone for this program coordinator position. And so that's when we reconnected, and it really worked out that I had the time and excitement and energy to put toward Youth Arts Alive. So that's kind of how I ended up where I am.
How you stepped into it. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you wear many hats, and I know this year in particular, I've kind of been highlighting, of course, COVID-19 and what that's done for us. It is so important, I believe, to have the arts for the kids. This is where our creativity lies. This is where new ideas are going to come about for our world. Can you tell us a couple of the classes and the dates you're hoping to get started and what struggles you're having?
Yeah, the biggest struggle right now is really just the unknown. And I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that in many aspects of their life right now. So we have a plan A. And as I've been watching the news this morning, I'm not sure if our plan A is going to go and we might have to move on to a plan B. Plan A is to have socially distant classes in person
Hmm.
starting this month. Can you believe it's July?
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
starting July 13th. We have written a reopening plan. A lot of businesses and government entities are having to write and submit reopening plans for how they plan to reopen to the public in a way that can still be safe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Our reopening plan is several pages, just some highlights in case anyone's curious and wants the confidence that we're being safe. Our classes have to have limited numbers. Right now, we're saying 9 students. We are going to remain socially distant of at least 6 feet. We're going to ask everyone to wear masks. and any supplies or materials that we use are going to be used by only one person to avoid any potential cross-contamination there. If that all goes well, if the reopening plan is approved, we will be having classes in theater, ukulele, guitar, drumming, dance, visual art, and pottery starting July 13th, outdoors. That's another part of our plan.
Right.
At the Abel Maldonado Community Youth Center here in Santa Maria.
Yeah, I just looked up the schedule. You've got quite a few classes overlapping. I have no idea how you're going to do that, but that sounds outside.
Yeah,
Outside.
and that's one way we're able to hopefully serve as many youth as possible. Of course, you know this, but other people might not. These classes are free.
Yes.
It's specifically free classes so that the arts can come into the lives of everyone. And the outdoors allows us two things. It allows us to be safer in the open air because there's lots of ventilation and we have lots of room to spread out. And it also allows us to have more than one class happening at a time because there's room at different outdoor areas at the community center for
That's
that to
true.
happen.
That's true. Yeah. I know last year I had two fairly large classes of guitar
Mm-hmm.
students, and it was inside, and we were all over town. So Gail was lucky enough to, I believe, partner with the city of Santa Maria, right? And
Yes,
did
there
a lot
were
of
last year there were 3 sites, which is very exciting that it had grown so much since 2017.
right. Yeah, it was, and I was all over the place, and I was lucky enough to have a young man that I knew have be an assistant and help me
Mm-hmm.
out because with that many kids, woo, 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 and then you've got different teaching levels. You know this, and
Mm-hmm.
when you're working with them, some catch on quickly, some do not. So the city's been a big part of this too. Can you share who's kind of instrumental and I believe how he's been helping Gail get this situated?
Yeah, the I don't know his job title, but the representative from Santa Maria Recreation and Parks, who we partner with a lot, is Dennis Smitherman, and he knows all the stuff I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really is how I view it. Of course, that's probably not how he views his job, but he's able to let us know what facilities are available, who coordinates with us on ordering any supplies we might need, or um, he's also been my liaison to the city. So when I submitted my reopening plan, he helped me get it to the city and had some pointers and makes it has all the registration forms in case people are filling out and dropping off registration forms and that
Right.
kind of thing.
Beautiful. Um, I know he's been instrumental. He's been really quite the push for bringing the arts back into Santa Maria, especially those kids that just don't get the opportunities. I personally taught through out of my home for years, voice, guitar, and a little bit of this and that. And the thing is that people that could pay for it are the ones that get it, Sarah.
That's right.
But that's not always the case for kids who really have the talent and their parents just can't afford it. So this is the way. This is the way, isn't it? Through what Youth Arts Alive is.
I totally agree. And there's what you said. Excuse me, I have a little frog in my throat. There's what you said about there's kids who are really talented and really have that drive who might not get the opportunity if they can't afford it. But then there's also just the joy that art brings you, regardless of your talent level. And for me, I like to think I'm talented, but that's the true joy of art is the connections and the joy and the relief, and the happiness that it can bring you, regardless of it's something you're good at or experienced at. And I think I would love for the world to be full of professional artists, but even if you never become a professional artist, it is still so valuable to take your time to learn an instrument or to learn to paint. And that kind of joy, I think, is really important. And I think it can start as small as a 5-year-old taking a music lesson and really grow into a big community of people who connect through the arts and learn about each other through the
Right.
arts. And I know I'm kind of going off on a rant, but I was thinking about what you're saying too. I'm a classical singer, so I have taken voice lessons essentially my whole life, and it adds up. It is not cheap. It is for someone to devote that time to you. It can be very expensive, and I want more people to have that opportunity, and that's why I think Youth Arts Alive is really special, and that we should continue to push forward programs like this wherever we can.
I agree. I agree. I have to ask something that maybe you know and I don't. Now, Gil McNeely is the director, and he started this, and I know it's from the heart and soul of what he loves about the arts himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you know what drove him personally to this? Did he ever tell you his little story? Because I don't think I've heard his story.
I I don't know more than he saw a need for free arts programming and decided to fill it. that's that's what I know, is that he saw a need. And I know teaching is very much in who he is, and that the students of Santa Maria and the Central Coast, and also he's been all over teaching, call him Mr. Gale. And that I think he really just saw the need, and decided to meet it and to create a program that could meet it. And it's very exciting. I know you know this, but it's very exciting to me to hear how much it has grown. It was one site serving 17 students in 2017, and
That's
then it
right.
was 3 sites serving about 100 students last year. And
Yeah.
if we could get to all those students in person this year, who knows how big it would be. So we're doing our best.
Yeah, he's gotten a variety of grants, so the need and the people are seeing this need and they know it's important. So I'm super happy being that music was, as you have noticed, music and the arts are such a big part as we were created. So why wouldn't
Mhm.
we be creative human beings from the artist way? Okay, now I have to ask you about your scheduling. I did see that there's availability or open, let's see, at Maldonado Center this weekend, the 4th of July weekend. You're going to be taking, because your classes start July 13th. Could you
Yeah,
share how people could maybe get in on this, sign their child up?
absolutely. Of course, we have online registration as an option. YouthArtsAlive.org. There's a little button that says classes, and you click it and you can register. And there's important information in there. We do need signed waivers from the parents. So that's one thing that would have to be printed and taken to brought to us on the first day of classes. But if we do have people that would rather try to register in person registration is not happening yet at the Maldonado Youth Center. However, I will be there on the weekend. 4th of July, I'm going to take off. But the 5th of July, I will be there from noon to 2 with other representatives from Youth Arts Alive, to wearing our masks and registering people for classes if they want to register
Beautiful.
that way, if that's easier. We were there
Beautiful.
last weekend, and I had a few people come up and register. And now I'm continuing to get the word out so that more people can try to take advantage of what we're offering.
Super. How long do the classes run this time around?
Each class is only an hour. The exception is theater classes. They will be 2 hours, but each hour will have a 30-minute break in between.
Oh,
Um, that's to allow our teachers to take a break and to allow us to continue some social distancing. We also have volunteers to supervise during that break so that kids won't just be abandoned, but
good.
potty breaks and water and all of that.
Those are definitely needed, and of course, that's just the human beingness of us all. Um, so these classes will run from the 13th through.
The 31st. So it's
The
3 weeks.
31st. So pretty much all of July.
Hmm.
Okay. And these classes are an hour, approximately. Guitar
An
would be an hour.
hour, but
Vocal.
expect it to be longer if it's theater.
Okay. And outside. And so
Outdoors.
I'm just kind of so I can push this too. Be the I could be the pusher in Santa
Yeah.
Maria for you.
Well, we'll have tents set up for some of the classes, and some of the classes, like visual arts and pottery, will have tables and chairs, designated spots, distance 6 feet from one another. But classes like dance
Right.
won't need chairs.
Right, right. Last year he had a huge recital. I mean, it was a lot to coordinate at the beautiful Performing Arts Center at the Pioneer High School. Um, is there going to be something like that at the end outside? I don't know.
We don't have a way to put on such a big event with so many people while
That's
remaining safe.
true. That's true. Okay.
So there will be an opportunity for the students to share what they've created or learned
Oh, good.
on the last day of their class. Uh, it has to be a little smaller so that we can maintain the social distance and not have too big of group gatherings. So it'll be more on a class by class basis rather than a big fiesta like we've had in the past.
Right.
I'm just hoping that we're holding back to have an even bigger fiesta next year.
That's right. That's what you're doing. You're just holding out. Well, I could definitely see if you could get some handheld cameras in there from your assistants
Mhm.
on the last day and film what everybody's been doing and then
Yeah,
put some kind of a show together. That could be really spectacular. Okay, so
yeah.
everybody could go to can you share the address again, the website for people to
Yes.
poke around?
Register at youthartsalive.org or
Fabulous.
come see me from noon to 2 this weekend and next weekend at the Abel Maldonado Youth Center, which is at 600 South McClellan Street.
Good. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to put the information in this as a replay and I also know one other thing that really helped my class, if I may share out
Sure.
into the public, and I'd like you to please add anything new that you know. But there were a lot of folks that Gail knew personally that were able to donate guitars for the students to borrow, basically. They had this guitar sitting in the corner of the house, and sure, Gail, you can borrow this for, the 3 or 4 weeks. Um, One Heart was able to purchase some guitars and donate those. So, what are your thoughts? Are you guys needing some of that kind of stuff this year again?
I'm not going to say no to anything anyone wants to give us.
Good answer.
uh, uh, we do already have several instruments,
Good.
but it would always be nice to have more just in case we have more or we add a class or something like that. Since our class numbers have to be so limited, if a lot of kids register, then that opens me up to say, oh, maybe I can put in another class. And if that were to happen, we'd love to have more instruments. We're doing guitar and ukulele, and so those would be helpful things to have. Another really helpful way to donate is that students are asked to give a refundable deposit.
Oh,
Uh,
that's great.
so it's a free class. If they give us a deposit, we will refund it. However, even a refundable deposit can be a burden on some families, and we still want those kids in our classes.
Oh, excellent.
So one thing we do is we scholarship that deposit through donations that we get, and yeah, so you can info at youthartsalive.org if you want to donate anything, and I will find a way to put it to good use.
That's right.
Uh,
And you'll pick it up, even if you
mhm.
have to ride your
Oh,
bicycle.
yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, that's fantastic. So what obstacle could there possibly be this time around that you're dealing with, in all
Um,
honesty?
the the big one looming in front of me right now is if our reopening plan gets denied, we have to rethink how we're going to do classes.
Right.
It's um, I don't I have a tentative plan B, but until I know I have to do it, I haven't hammered out all the details yet. We are, for one site that we had classes at last year, they have asked if we'd be willing to Zoom our classes to them. Zoom, just like
Mm,
Jolyn and I are doing right now. And those, even those details are actually, I have a meeting tomorrow to hammer them out. But the plan is for the community at People's Self-Help Housing wants to
right.
offer their students Zoom classes through Youth Arts Alive.
That's
So if our in-person classes go, we hope to video those and send them via Zoom to the other site at People's Self-Help Housing. And if the in-person classes don't go, then we are going to make some adjustments.
hmm,
No matter what happens this summer, we want to continue to enrich the lives of the youth of Santa Maria through arts.
yeah.
So we will go to the school board and find out ways that we can supplement their arts programming if there are needs in the schools. We'll create after school programs and weekend programs during the school year. That would be a new thing for Youth Arts Alive, which has traditionally been a summer program. We also want to expose kids to more public art and help them with painting murals and designing murals. The muralist Ruben Espinosa is one of our instructors and is on board to teach this summer and to possibly do a mural with youth sometime during the school year. And that's a nice long project that could be very exciting to be a part of.
Could be. Wow, that would be awesome to have a beautiful mural and some projects maybe around town through the
Mhm.
city that have been created through the youth arts. Oh, wow. I'm inspired now. This you've got some great stuff coming down the pike. Lots of great ideas. Oh, well, I just want to thank both of you and Gail for reaching out to our children in the community, giving them opportunities that you and I were able to afford. And this is for basically the young individuals in our city that just can't afford it. And here they've got an opportunity. Um, I really want to thank you, Sarah, for this interview and updating us. I know it's been a struggle with COVID, I know, but you guys are doing great work. I appreciate the city of Santa Maria as well, and my hat off to Gail for starting all of this. Any last thoughts other than you're going to be around Sunday from 12 to noon at the Maldonado Center signing up kids? Um, all I can say, to be honest, is that for you folks, any of you parents out there, this is such a great way to enrich your child. Don't you think, Sarah? I mean,
I
really?
I really do. I think it's really neat. We have really great instructors that are excited and enthusiastic. We have PCPA students doing theater. We have really professional level teachers who are artists in their own right, really excited to share. And that's really special too. I mean, I'm doing a lot of these sort of behind the scenes work, and it is a lot of work, but I feel like it's really the teachers that are the true value of what we're offering.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be able to have that available.
Oh,
Well,
we have a social media presence, which is kind of new for Youth
there
Arts
you go.
Alive.
What's that?
So you can find Youth Arts Alive on Facebook. We're just Youth Arts Alive. And our Instagram handle is Youth Arts Alive Santa Maria. If you want to check us out and see what we're doing, and if plans change and we need to find other ways to reach the youth of Santa Maria, then that's one of the ways we will let you know.
Perfect. A lot of people are on both of those types of social media outlets. And of course, we've got your website,
Mhm.
youthartlive.org. Youth
YouthArtsAlive.org.
alive.org. I know
Mhm.
that. I've done okay. And again, you have guitar lessons available, dance, I saw ukulele, drumming, pottery. I sure
Yes.
love.
Oh, I'm so excited about pottery. It's actually the pottery already exists, and the students will paint and glaze it, and
Ooh.
then our instructor will take it away to be fired. And the bowls that the students create will be donated to the food bank for the
Oh,
Empty Bowls program. And that's
beautiful.
really neat because it's right away instantly the art that our students are creating is our students will create can go to another good cause. And so I'm
Yeah.
actually really excited about that one. Shirley Hinso is the one who is in charge of that aspect of the program, and she
Oh,
teaches
that's
it
a
and she takes care
great
of the
idea. Great
donations.
idea. Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. Maybe the kids could even go over and play their guitar for the animals at the animal shelter. You never know,
Oh.
right?
Or
You,
if things start opening up and there are senior homes, they senior homes always love it if you come and play music and
that's
share your time.
right. That's right. They sure love the young ones for sure. Oh, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time and bringing us up to date on this wonderful program. And I wish you the best of luck for any of you out there. I highly recommend that you sign up either on their website, which I'll post in the bottom and replay this video for y'all, as well as sign up live and in person this Sunday with you
Yep.
at the Maldonado Center, noon to 2. So you can't beat that, July 5th. Any last any last aha moments of sorts?
No, I hope I've covered everything, and I'm just so happy to get the chance to talk to you about it.
Oh, this has been wonderful. All right, y'all. Stay tuned. I've got another guest coming up this Sunday and at 11 o'clock on Intuitive. You've already heard from her. It's Heather Green. She's got some new insights for us as we go into some kind of an eclipse. Otherwise, Sarah, thank you again. Well, bye bye, everybody, and have a great rest of your afternoon. Bye bye.
Bye.